Good morning, hello, and welcome once again to my small corner of the world and my own personal insanity. Um, as per normal and as per my usual updates, let's begin with Author's Corner. So, a big question that I know probably 4 people that watch this are interested in knowing what are my plans? What am I currently doing towards my writing? Um, Currently, I'm working on a group of short stories I'm planning on turning into a novel length work. It's going to go straight to Amazon. It's not something I plan on trying to fish around for an actual publisher. This is going to be for fun. This is for everybody that I know that absolutely loves zombie stories. I've been told before that, I write them pretty well, and I'm not going to toot my own horn here because the moment you start believing the bullshit is the moment you stop writing well, and I, for one, don't believe it. I'm always very critical of what I write. I'm always very critical of anything I put down. And to me, it's never perfect. It's better, never perfect. No such thing as perfect. So but there is a group of short stories I'm currently working on. I've got 3 of them done. I'm working on number 4. I'm very, very lucky in the sense that my buddy Steven and my buddy David, I do hope Steven and David don't want to use their actual names. If you guys do, tell me, and I won't use them. They've both been extremely helpful in, chipping in, kind of looking over the work, making suggestions on what could make it better. Steven's went as far as to give a good written assessment, and, love him for it, man. My bro, you're awesome. Keep being awesome. Other acknowledgments that definitely go out of the way. Christopher Murphy, dude, you're amazing. You are a fantastic creative writing professor. You're a fantastic human being. God knows that I value your input tremendously. My friends from the herd, which I've already mentioned a couple. Everybody that follows, both my original fiction and when I do dive into it, my fan fiction. Hey, you guys are awesome. Thank you. So that's really the big thing. Grade 3 is not canceled. It's still in the writing parts. Grade 2 has been in editing hell for a while now. It's going to continue to be in editing hell for a while. I will put it out. I will get it out there. I might have to have some new cover arts. If I do, I will I'll let everybody know that as soon as possible. And the only reason I say that is my good friend Natasha Altaresi, she's the one who did the cover art for grade 1. It's great. It's wonderful. I think it's a beautiful piece of art. She's got a ton of projects she's currently working on that she's currently trying to break into, the comic book world, and I wish her the absolute best. I know she has it in her. She's fantastically talented, and the girl is simply amazing. If you're not following her on Facebook, I suggest you do it. If she ever offers up any commissions, take her up on it. She's amazing. She's talented. That said, I'm sure I'm going to have different cover art made. Simply because I'm afraid she's going to be way too busy to do Greg too. And I'll find somebody to do it naturally. My Space Western is well into editing. I've gotten the technical parts down. I'm just trying to tie everything together. Expect to see it, hopefully with the publishing house. I'm going to be submitting it. I'm going to be seeing what happens with it. Worst comes to worst, I will go through Amazon, but I'd rather do it through a publishing house. And then it comes back to the zombie fiction, and that's my first true love. That's my first true love in writing is zombie fiction. First true love is currently laying down in the bedroom, and she is fantastic and amazing. But I digress. So, what do we have so far? We have confirmation Greg 2 should be coming out, hopefully before too long. Greg 3 is being worked on, slightly in hiatus, but hey, it's there. The Space Western, near completion, should be hopefully seeing it either in a publishing house or on Amazon within a year, I imagine. Zombie fiction, I'm still banking on having it done, completely done by November at the latest. So that brings me to fan fiction. The little bits that I've been doing there. Anyone who's been friends with me online and who's followed my dubious fanfiction writing. Well, I shouldn't say dubious. It's not really right. It's not dubious. It's just anyone who's followed it knows for a fact that for the longest friggin' time, I was writing stuff, related to DC. And there was a reason for that, because I was a huge fan of DC Comics, huge fan of the Justice League cartoon. Cartoon is such a harsh way to say it. I prefer calling it animated series. I think it's better. I think it's more relevant. It's not your basic Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck crap. It had a storyline. It was fun. It was imaginative. It was well done. It was well drawn. It was interesting. I wrote a lot of crap for that. A ton of crap for that. I put a lot of energy, a lot of time into that. What drove me out of that was all the infighting. You will never see more infighting than in a DC or a Marvel, and God forbid both of them be in the same friggin' room, but more infighting than in this DC or Marvel group of authors. And I'm not talking about the actual, the comic book authors. I'm talking about the guys who's doing this in their free time, who really have talent, who are really, really dedicated, really good. I mean, my God, they're amazing. But there's no more. They fight so much. It's freaking incredible. It really is. And what got to me was just the huge amount of it that was going on. Here we are, we're a group of fans. We obviously love the stuff, the DC, and in my case, I love Marvel too. The DC and Marvel was putting out. It was amazing. Thought the world of it. The comic books were fantastic. The storylines were great. The animated series were amazing. And then we get the, look, everybody goes to their own personal favorites. Everybody's got their own favorite ships. Everybody's got their own, favorite heroes. But if you get DC fans who write fan fiction in a group together, and I guarantee you there's going to be a split between Batman and Superman fans faster than anybody, and somebody's going to say, well, Batman kicked Superman's ass, and there's somebody else is going to say, that shit was never canon, it never happened, that was freaking Frank Miller, and that's bullshit, and Superman can fuck Batman's ass up any day of the week. And, okay, I fall under the Batman fandom, I'm not gonna lie. Superman fans out there, look, I'm glad you like the Blue Boy Scout. I am. I think that Superman himself is a decent character. Okay, he's decent. He's not A-list. I'm sorry, he's not. Pre-New 52, we were getting a lot of recycled stories. We were getting a whole crap ton of this horrible, horrible, horrible just mess of the Superman origins. If you're a serious Superman fan and you didn't just jump in during New 52, or you didn't just follow the Superman animated series, or Lois and Clark or Smallville, but you actually followed the comics, did you ever freaking pay attention to the weird shit that they tried to do to make Superman important? Red and Blue Superman, anybody? I'm serious. They split him into two people, Red and Blue. They reinvented his origin and kept it as close to the same as possible, at least 4 different times. And the problem is, you have this immensely powerful, godlike figure who is what? I mean, really, what? He's afraid of Green Rock. Okay, that kind of sucks. But what? He has almost no real enemies that can challenge him except for other godlike figures. He doesn't have to push himself. He doesn't have to do anything spectacular. It's let's throw an enemy in front of him and see what happens. And from my point of view, it's just not very creative. I can't get behind it. I'm sorry. I truly am. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sorry that I find it that way. It's just, it seems to be lazy writing. Batman, there's definitely times it got to be lazy writing. Not going to lie. Not everything that came out for Batman was fantastic or amazing. The Dark Knight Strikes Again is an example of that. I'm a huge fan of The Dark Knight Returns. I think that it was a fantastic book, despite Frank Miller having his, particular views, his misogynistic views, I guess. The book's fantastic. It is a great read. It really is. And not just for the fact that Superman gets his ass kicked. Okay, did I enjoy it? Sure. I enjoyed it. It was nice seeing the big Blue Boy Scout get his butt kicked. It's not just that. It was just a really good read. It was reading about Bruce Wayne acknowledging that he is the Batman, that it's a huge part of him and he can't leave it behind. It was well done. Going beyond that particular read, I mean, sure, there's some weird ass shit that went on. There was the death of Batman, the death of Bruce Wayne. The Court of Owls was, I'm sorry for fans of it, it was stupid. It was overdone. I was not a huge fan of Nightfall either, even though it happened back in the 90s. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people loved it. And a lot of people say, oh, it was such a huge thing. They put it in the... That's another thing. It's cool to love DC movies. It is. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the current DC movies. I don't like my heroes being gritty and realistic, and I'm going to make it to where everyone on here is make some money. That's stupid. I apologize if I hurt your feelings, but it's stupid. Marvel has stepped up to the plate. They've taken the superhero movies, and instead of this gritty Superman who snaps people's necks and lays waste to a fucking city, a fucking fighting one motherfucker. I'm sorry for the cursing, but fighting one. Are you fucking serious? And the Nolan verse isn't that much better. I have we no longer really speak online. There was some differences. Those differences being that, quite frankly, I didn't think that I should be sorry about being a man, and she thought that all men should be sorry about being men and should bend down and kiss a woman's ass. I'm sorry if that sounds misogynistic, but hey, that was her view, not mine. Anyway, I had a friend, and if she heard me back talk and bad talk the Nolanverse, she would just lay into my ass about being a fanboy and not accepting change. I'll accept change. I'll accept change when I see change. I didn't see change. I saw horseshit. What Christopher Nolan made was a cop movie. Get pissed if you want to get pissed. He made a cop movie. This was not a Batman movie. This was a cop movie. It was a cop movie featuring Batman. This was all a detective freaking story featuring Batman, which is cool because Batman is a detective. Absolutely. And I like the fact that they accented that. I like the fact that they showed him kind of bumbling around in the first one, and they showed him kind of bumbling around in the second one. And be completely honest, the moment I actually guessed off the cuff what was going to happen in the third one without ever watching or getting into it, I finally watched it. Alright. I watched Dark Knight Rises. And that is the single stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. How in God's name they actually expected that to make any kind of point ever, I have no clue. It was dumb. And it was far out of character. That is a perfect example of why fan fiction has such a bad connotation. It really is. Because you do get those authors, those fan fiction authors, who are fucking horrible at writing. They make characters way out of character, and they just write something because it sounds good. this is the guys who write Superman being a freaking sex machine and sexing up everybody in the Justice League. It's stupid. Dark Knight Rises was stupid. That said, it is better than the Joel Schumacher. I'll give it that. It's better than the Joel Schumacher Batman. And same person I used to be friends with would be getting on to me again for, oh, you're not giving him a fair chance. Joel Schumacher brought something fresh and new to the Batman franchise. Well, you want to sit through it again? Well, I didn't say that. I just said he brought something new, fresh to the Batman franchise. He kind of made Batman realize, that he couldn't be all taken seriously all the time. I don't think she'd actually do that. And I'm sorry. That's way out of line. Just kind of still irked about things, the way they went down. Anyway, it was dumb. So, yeah. Getting back on my tangent here, what I was originally getting on is, you get all these folks together and they start arguing about all this crap and they start getting in, and I got so tired of it. I got so tired of it. And I started just withdrawing out of it. I couldn't really justifiably say that I enjoyed being there and doing it anymore. So the next thought that went to me was, okay, if not there, where? I went on to find a fandom a lot more accepting, a lot more tolerant. A fandom I was introduced to in 1984. I was 5 years old. My brother, Ronald, was still alive at the time. Really good guy, awesome guy, absolutely loved him. And, he had downs, but didn't stop him from living life. He loved it. He loved life. And he was so enraptured by the movie and the television series My Little Pony. Yeah. I pretty much got forced to watch all of Generation 1 and Generation 2 and bits and pieces of Generation 3 growing up, because it'd come on TV and he'd want to watch it when he was here. And I was wanting to watch He-Man and Smurfs. And okay, I liked Care Bears and I liked Strawberry Shortcake. I'm not going to lie, I was a kid, it was cartoons, it was friggin' awesome, it was amazing, I loved it. But I also liked watching G.I. Joes, Transformers, He-Man, yes, I did like She-Ra. And My Little Pony, while it was fun to watch, it wasn't that high on the list for me, not really, until I really started thinking about it, that this was something that we was connecting on. This is something my brother really enjoyed. And I was getting time to sit down and watch it with him. And so I did. And I would watch it with him. And I'm not going to lie to you. Generation 1 was commercial. That's all it was. The first movie was commercial. The entire the short-lived direct-to-video and then put on TV series was commercial. The other couple movies that came out was commercial. Generation 2 was commercial. Generation 3 was commercial. Well, Generation 2 was commercial. Generation 3 was horrible girly stereotypes. Generation 3.5 we're not even going to go into. I didn't have to watch it very much, thank God. Um, and of course, he passed on. 1997. It's going on 20 years ago. My brother up and passed on, left this world. Absolutely hated it. I lost a really good friend. I lost somebody I was able to connect to, at least in the way of my love of cartoons. And I kind of withdrew myself a little bit. Of course, doing that, I started writing a lot more, and thus became my love of writing. So, there's a reason for everything, but damn. Anyway, recently, within the last year and a half, I was introduced into that fandom again. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? It'd be nostalgic at the very least. I'll watch it. It's probably the same kind of, commercialization that it was. And it wasn't. Holy shit, there were stories, actual stories. And the animation was, wow, it was good. It was amazing. It wasn't jerky. It was really good animation. It was bright. It was colorful. It was everything that you needed as a child to be enraptured from it. And then you get the adult jokes. And yes, there's adult jokes. There are adult gags that you will get, and it's a fantastic moment. If you're a Whovian, I'm a Whovian. If you're a Whovian, you're going to get a ton of Whovian jokes in there. You're going to get the Doctor, because he's there, walking with 3D glasses next to a pony named Rose as they're going through the forest. Yeah, that's pretty cool. If you're into Harry Potter, yeah, you're going to get Harry Potter jokes. There's a ton of jokes that the series makes that it puts out there, little gags, and as you're watching, you go, oh my god, I so totally get that. And it's fun. It really is. On top of that, valued for kids to watch, I completely suggest it. The show teaches tolerance. It teaches, value of friendship. It teaches that you're not alone in the world. It shows you that there is such a thing as good and caring people. I stress it. I think it needs to be watched. And with that, I started my dive into getting into that fandom, and within 3 months, I did draft a piece for it. I couldn't help it, and it felt really good. So I was writing about something I was passionate again. Well, getting passionate about anyway, and it felt amazing. Anybody who writes fan fiction, except for the chick who wrote 50 Shades of Grey, you know who you are. Shame on you. That's horrible, horrible literature. Anybody except for her knows that if you're writing fan fiction, you're not doing it for the money, because there is no money. You might do it for the fans. You might do it for the comments, and let me not kid you. It's really powerful stuff. The comments are amazingly powerful. The likes are amazingly powerful. The reviews are amazingly powerful. You get addicted quick. You get so addicted to hearing these positive reviews on your work, to hearing this, oh my God, that was so amazing. I look forward to seeing the next chapter. We need more. We need more. We want more. We need more. Oh my God, how could you just do that? That was so, oh wow. Holy Jesus, man, that's amazing. And they go on and on and on, and you get so addicted to hearing that, and you're like, it just does me so much good. Somebody actually, appreciates what I'm doing. And you want to write more. And you've got to write more. And it just influences you so completely. So, you end up spending a lot of time, a lot of your free time, working on it. And I have to really, really watch and manage myself, because I need time to work on my other projects as well. And you have to take a step back and go, yeah, I am doing something here that's amazing. I am doing something that people actually enjoy, and I am doing that one thing I said I wanted to do. That one thing, that if I could make something that makes somebody's life not suck for a few hours, then I've done something worthwhile. And you do that on a daily basis sometimes. There are authors out there, and okay, all you fiction authors out there who have a tendency of saying that if you are writing fan fiction, you are not an author, or if you do a Kindle publishing, you're not author. Are you freaking serious? Do you know how much work goes in to these things if they're really well done? Do you know how much work goes into them? You have people that... I'm going to start throwing handles in here. I don't want to use real names. I don't think it'd be prudent to use real names. Lord of Thunder, and yes, it is written in Leet speak. Lord of Thunder confided in me before that while maybe the first 10 or so chapters of a story he's doing on for fan content was just off the cuff, it was just writing a spur moment, that he realized by doing that he's eventually going to write himself into a corner. And he went to drafting outlines and doing serious research and doing all kinds of stuff to make his story that much better. And it has. It's made it amazing. He spends, from what I understand, as much time as he possibly can doing this. You get someone like Kazuo Haku, and I know I didn't pronounce his name correct. Kazuo Haku, who has one of the most successful fan fictions that I've seen in almost any fan fiction. His notes, he's published his notes before. His notes are, holy God, 120 pages and counting. That's his notes. People who do this and who are passionate about it put a lot of time, a lot of effort, and they deserve to be called an author just as much as anybody else does. So who the fuck are you to say that they're not an author? Okay, back the fuck off. They are. The same thing with anybody who's doing Kindle publishing. Sure, maybe their work isn't the best. Then again, Dean Koontz isn't the best, and he's a fucking author. Look, what I'm saying is, these folks deserve to be called an author. They do the work. They're an amazing group of individuals. So if they're independent publishers, independent writers, or they're fan fiction writers, they're authors. It's just the way it is. I think I've had enough of my daily going on. I know that this is well-reaching, way beyond what it could be reaching. For that reason, I'm going to tell you guys, good night, good day. May the force be with you. Aim to misbehave. You're a wizard now. May the elements of harmony protect you. And I'm still working on trying to incorporate Avatar in there somehow, and I will eventually, but not at the moment. You guys, see ya.